The heavy bronze door slams shut behind you. At first, it's only darkness. The air is thick, stale, and suffocating. You try to move, but there's barely enough space to stand upright inside the hollow body of the bull. Then you hear it, the sound that turns fear into pure terror. Wood being stacked beneath you, voices outside, and then the unmistakable crackle of fire. The execution has begun. This is Visual Odyssey, and today we'll be breaking down what would actually happen if you were locked inside one of the most horrifying execution devices in history, the Brazen Bull. First, imagine how you got here. Ancient Greece. The crowd surrounds the public square. Some came out of fear, others came for entertainment. Because in this era, punishment was not only about death, it was about making an example. And today, that example is you. In front of you stands what looks like a giant bronze bull. At first glance, it almost looks like a statue. But then the guards pull open a metal hatch on its side. Inside is nothing but darkness. No windows, no escape. You are shoved inside, and the hatch is slammed shut. The first few seconds feel almost calm. The metal is cold. The space is cramped. Your breathing becomes louder. Your heart pounds against your chest. Then the heat begins. At first, it's subtle. Just a faint warmth under your feet. Almost easy to ignore. But within moments, the bronze starts absorbing the flames beneath it. The floor becomes hotter, then the walls, then the air itself. And this is where panic truly begins. You start pounding on the inside, screaming, begging. But your voice doesn't come out the way you expect. The Brazen Bull was designed with pipes in its mouth and nostrils, so every scream you make echoes through the metal chambers and exits as something horrifying. To the people outside, it doesn't sound human. It sounds like the cry of a raging animal, a bull roaring in agony. That was the point. This wasn't just execution, it was theater. Within the first minute, the temperature inside becomes unbearable. The bronze walls are now radiating heat from every direction. Your skin begins to sweat instantly. Your breathing becomes faster. And that's the first real danger. Because it's not the fire that kills you first, it's the air. Inside the sealed chamber, oxygen begins to drop. The heat forces your lungs to work harder. Every breath feels thinner, hotter, more painful. Panic turns into desperation. You crouch lower, trying to escape the rising heat. But there is nowhere to go. The floor burns, the walls burn, the air burns. By the second minute, the metal is hot enough to cause severe burns on contact. If your shoulder touches the wall, your skin can blister almost immediately. Your hands recoil from the surface. Your body begins to weaken. Your throat dries out. Every scream becomes rougher, more broken. Outside, the crowd hears the bull bellowing. Some are horrified, others are fascinated. And that's exactly why this device became infamous in history. Now comes the worst part. The heat inside keeps building. Your body tries to cool itself through sweating, but the trapped air is so hot that it no longer helps. Your heart rate spikes. Your pulse races. Your body enters full survival mode. Dizziness sets in. Vision begins to blur. This is the point where many people would likely collapse from heatstroke. And once you fall, things become even worse. Because the hottest air rises, but the bronze floor beneath you is now scorching. Lying against it would cause catastrophic burns. Your skin would begin to blister rapidly. Pain would become overwhelming. By the third or fourth minute, loss of consciousness becomes very likely. Extreme heat, lack of oxygen, dehydration, and smoke inhalation all combine into one brutal end. And if the fire continues, the temperature rises even further. What started as fear becomes total system failure. Your body can no longer regulate itself. Breathing slows. Vision darkens. Then, everything goes silent. But the terrifying part is that this device may not have been just a legend. Historical accounts trace the Brazen Bull back to ancient Greece, where it was said to have been invented by Perillos of Athens. According to the story, he presented it to the tyrant Phalaris as a new method of execution, a machine designed to turn human screams into the cries of a beast. but in one of history's darkest twists. Phalaris reportedly ordered the inventor himself to test it first, meaning the man who created it may have become its very first victim. And if that story is true, then the Brazen Bull was not just a punishment, it was a warning, a message, power, cruelty, and fear fused into bronze. Because in ancient times, death was not always enough. Sometimes, they wanted terror. Sometimes, they wanted spectacle. And few punishments in history were more terrifying than being locked inside a burning metal bull. But believe it or not, this still wasn't the worst execution method ever created. Some were even slower. Some were even more brutal, and some lasted for days. If you want to uncover more dark stories, forgotten punishments, and the most terrifying moments in history, then make sure you subscribe to Visual Odyssey and join us for the next episode.